Hello there, it's Matthew here from Matthew North Music. Now, I haven't done any proper videos for a couple of weeks, and you might be wondering why. Well, the last 2 weeks I've been in intense rehearsals with Mike Westbrook and the rest of the band for our shows at Ronnie Scott's, which we did a few days ago. These shows were really great fun. We had a full packed venue both nights, and it was all pretty intense work-wise, which is why I haven't done any projects. I kind of decided I'm not going to do anything until these gigs are over. Anyway, we've done these gigs now. We've got one more coming up in a couple of weeks. But in the intervening time, I will be working on a few different things that I will make videos about in the next few days. So stay tuned for those. But I just thought I'd give a little update on one of my projects, which was the speakers that I've been restoring. Now, if you remember, I had this cabinet which I picked up off Marketplace, which had some mismatched loudspeakers inside. Now, one of the mismatched speakers in this cabinet was this Goodmans, and I've repurposed it by popping it into a cabinet along with a Celestion Greenback. Now, the Celestion Greenback that I had was the original speaker that I bought to go inside the Fender Tweed Deluxe that I built. However, I wanted a more efficient speaker in that amp just to get a bit more volume out of it. So I decided to put these two speakers into another cabinet, and this is it. Well, you could be forgiven for thinking this could be a Fender cabinet because it has the Fender type grill cloth on it. I actually put this cabinet together a few years ago when I had a Fender Bandmaster reissue head. And the speakers that were inside this cabinet you would have seen on my last video. These are the Celestion 65s that were inside this cabinet. However, I put those inside the Sound City cabinet, and I put some different speakers in here. If I just remove the grill cloth, you'll see what this cabinet actually is. And it's an old PA cabinet. It's a Carlsbro, and here we would have had two tweeters, and then there would have been two 12-inch drivers. And I picked this up from a junk shop a few years ago, and I completely repurposed it. I used these metal grills on the front to protect the speakers, and then I recovered the grill cloth afterwards. Now, this side I've got the Celestion Greenback, and this side I've got the Goodmans, and they're both 8-ohm and they're wired in series to give me a 16-ohm cabinet. And I try to keep all my cabinets now at 16-ohm because then I know what I'm using and I don't need to keep changing the settings on the back of whichever amp I'm going to use with them. Right then, let's do a little sound test. And if you're wondering why I'm talking into this little box and not having a normal clip-on microphone, it's because I don't have my main camera here today, and I'm actually doing this video on a little stills camera. So this is actually being done with my little Lumix pocket camera. Anyhow, I've got the Marshall JTM45, and I've got the mic, an SM57 going onto the speaker. And the only effect I'm using is down here, and this is my Electro Harmonix Holy Stain pedal, which I did a very successful video on probably about a year ago now. And I'm just using the overdrive and the reverb off that pedal, and it's being mic'd up, and I've got the computer set up, and I'm going to give you a quick burst of Mike Westbrook's On Duke's Birthday, which I played last week in London. Well, I say last week, yeah, it's last week now. And here's what it sounds like. Right then, so there you have it. That's what a Audiom 12 made by Goodmans sounds like, with a Marshall JTM45 and the Electro Harmonics Holy Stain pedal. And I think it complements the greenback very well. If you were looking for a vintage sounding speaker driver and you wanted to get an old driver, old greenbacks and creambacks and things are fetching a premium price now. They're going, you know, anything from £150 upwards per speaker. Whereas these Goodmans Audioms, you can pick up a good one for maybe £40–50, and it's got great sound. And they're also twice the power rating of the greenbacks. They're actually rated at 50 watts. You know, you could use it as a 1x12 with maybe a 30 watt amp or something, and it would be fine. Well worth hunting out if you want to find yourself a good vintage cheap speaker. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I shall catch you on the next one.